So we have huge, great success with e.max, a very high success rate with millions and many more than 100 million out there that have been done with great, great success. So we have to think, though, about comparatives, and all materials, all zirconias aren't alike. So if you're looking at a study of zirconia comparisons, and you say you compare them to e.max, and where are you? What's the difference in that failure load and at 1 millimeter thickness? So look at e.max, and then you come over here with Zircad multi and compared to Zircad low translucency. I mean, these are different choices, but Zircad Prime combines it and gives you that strength, but it also gives you some extra translucency. So I know you're going to love it when you see it. So when we look at veneers can be thin. Okay, it depends on what's underneath again. So if you have a very dark stump shade, that dentin is really dark underneath, and you're trying to go to a lighter shade, you have to think about more preparation and what ingots to be used. And we'll show you a trick in a little bit about knowing what ingot the lab should use, or if you're doing it in-house, what ingot you select based on the stump shade and the final shade. So with lithium disilicate, we do have different thicknesses. What's the minimum thickness? 1 millimeter reduction for a posterior. Oftentimes you may want 1.5 millimeters occlusally, just like you might choose for zirconia. Second molars, would you rather use zirconia? Well, part of it also relates to the bonding and what cements you're going to use and how that ends strength. All those things combine in making your decision. So we can look at some of the newer cements, the adhesive cementation preparation, and you think about, with an e.max, you really want to get that 1 millimeter all around in terms of the preparation. Conventional cementation, though, you may want to have a little thicker occlusally. You don't have the same strength that the adhesive cements give it, so you may want to go to 1.5 millimeters. In terms of, conventional cement, you really want to have something that's a 4 to 8 degree taper. You want to be able to have also height-wise of the prep, I like to have a 5 millimeter prep, a good parallelism, and good reduction occlusally to be able to give that retention with conventional cement. This is a stump shade guide that's made by Ivoclar. If you do not have one of these, you must have one, because this is how you communicate to the lab what the stump is underneath, and then you take your photographs with this next to the preparation to help the lab see. Sometimes I'll even have 2 of them. Maybe it's somewhere in between a ND4 and ND5. So I'll hold them both up to the preparation and take my photograph that I email to them along with the picture of the actual shade. Now look at this comparative of different thicknesses of preparation from 0.5 up to 1.5. And then you look at the high translucency, medium, and low translucency, and what the difference is in the show through. So, with low translucency, that means more opacus. And 1.5 millimeters, you barely see anything coming through, even if it was a dark stump. You see a little, but not much. You see a lot more, when it's a higher translucency. And when you start to go thinner, look at this, that's 1.5. Now you're at 0.8. Think about a veneer that you might have done at 0.5, okay? And you're trying to achieve a certain translucency. Even with low translucency, you have that see-through. That's not a good thing. So it's helpful for the lab to make a tooth-shaded dye in the aesthetic zone, whether they're layering or not layering. It still can make a difference. They can put glycerin inside there and see what will that shade look like, because you may have different stump shades next to each other in the same dentition in the aesthetic zone, and you may not be using the same ingot to make that e.max crown.